Hi, I just wanted to give an update on my sudden hearing loss journey. If you haven't seen my previous videos and you don't know me, my name is Claire Ridgway and I suffered what is termed as sudden sensorineural hearing loss on the 9th of September 2025. That's Madge the cat, she wants to get in on the action. And so as I'm filming this, I'm 33 days into my hearing loss journey. I woke up on that day. I went to bed the Monday night with no symptoms, woke up on the Tuesday morning, not being able to hear anything at all in my right ear and with really, really loud white noise on that side of my head. Vertigo, so much so that if I moved my head, suddenly I was vomiting. And also balance issues, not being able to walk in a straight line at all, feeling very, very unbalanced. My doctor told me not to worry about it. So I kind of went a week without treatment until I'd done my research and realised that it really, really was serious. I then had 2 weeks of oral steroids, and now I'm having intratympanic steroid injections. So those are sort of through the eardrum of the affected ear. And it's a course of 3 injections over 3 weeks. So I've had 2 of them. My hearing loss has actually got worse. I don't think that's to do with the injections. I think that was going to sort of happen anyway. I'm just one of those unlucky people. It's gone from moderately severe. It was at severe levels, and it's gone to profound, which is the worst. Tim, what were my levels?
This
He's
time,
just outside of me.
90 up to 115 dBs.
Yes, and before they'd been at the sort of 70, 75, 80 sort of levels. Mostly 75 to 80. So yeah, it's profound now. But the ENT said it was still worth carrying on with the injections because there's nothing to say that they harm you in any way, and there is a slight possibility that they will bring back some of my hearing, so it's worth carrying on. So I'm doing that at the moment. I've got another hearing test. Madge the cat really wants to get into the action. I've got another hearing test and my final injection on Tuesday. But I also wanted today to just share some tools, resources that I'm finding helpful. So I've got my trusty walking stick. It's just a hiking stick. I bought 2 of them for hikes I was doing. I really, really enjoy hiking. So this is my trusty hiking stick. I either use this when I'm walking or I hold Tim's hand, because walking in a straight line is quite often a challenge. First thing in the morning, I'm all over the place. I'm like I'm drunk. And when I'm tired as well. And sometimes suddenly the world will go upside down. And I don't know when that's going to happen. So balance issues and vertigo are still nasty, but I'm not vomiting now or anything. I'm generally okay. Sitting down, I'm okay. I have found that I've got double vision sometimes, and I think that's just my brain is just trying to balance me all the time. So that's really, really helpful. I just like having that extra support. Because my tinnitus is reactive, the white noise in my head is reactive, like it's really loud at the moment, because we've actually got the washing machine on in the background and the dishwasher's going. And for me, it's really loud, even though they're not really loud. But I'm sensitive to noise and my tinnitus is reactive. So I bought some, and I'm not sponsored by them, this is just what I found useful. I bought some Flare Calmer earplugs, Calmer Soft, in a really lovely purple colour. And I actually bought the filter pack as well, which is minus 10 dB and minus 15 dB filters. They're just little, I'm going to have to get them out. You won't be able to see this really, I don't think. but they're little plastic bits with a hole in that you actually fit into the earplug itself. And the earplug is soft. When you obviously put a plastic one, I've got a -10 in there. That's what I've been using. Helpful. I find it helpful. They just fit in your ears. I'm going to put this one in. I'm going to get Tim to film it. I actually put them in both ears, even though this is a deaf ear, just because I feel sort of comfortable that way. They're really easy to take out and put in. And I just find that when there's noise, like in the car, I use them, the aircon, just the environment in the car. For me, I'm really sensitive to the noise and my tinnitus goes mad. So in the car, in a cafe or bar with the radio on or background music. So I find that I wear them a lot and I'm finding them really, really helpful. They just take the edge off that background noise. So my tinnitus doesn't go quite as mad and I've got more hope of hearing people. I'm also doing lip reading classes online, which is once a week, and I'm really enjoying them. There's 6 of us doing them, and we've all got some kind of hearing loss. So it's nice talking to other people that have got hearing loss. But it's really important, I feel, that I learn to lip read, because although my left ear is really, really healthy and normal levels, because of my tinnitus, I do find it hard in some environments to hear people, and I don't want to just rely on hearing. Plus, I'm kind of a little bit paranoid about hearing my left ear. I know, like, lightning doesn't strike twice and all that, but I'm just a little bit paranoid about losing my hearing completely. So those earplugs have been really, really useful. I've got some apps that I use on my phone. Actually, if you go into your phone, into the settings, and it depends on your phone, but mine's a Samsung, and in the settings, there's accessibility. You'll find accessibility for vision and for hearing and that. And there's things that you can set up for your phone to do to help you. And I've even made the accessibility button so it's on the home screen of my phone, right down in the right corner. And so I press that and it goes straight to live transcribe, which will start transcribing what I'm saying. And I can set it to different, you can set it to different languages. So I have it set to Spanish and English, and it transcribes what it's hearing. It's not great in noisy environments. It will often say multitude or, music and that. So it's not great in noisy environments. But if you're having a one-on-one conversation with someone or just with a few friends, then it's really, really useful. And so, I can just press that button on my home screen and it works really, really well. So that's live transcribe and that's totally free. So let's get rid of that one. Then I've got My Noise, it's called. I'm just going to it. And I've actually got a library of sounds, tracks that I've set up. Now, with My Noise, because I have really loud tinnitus, I was finding in the early days that I was finding it really hard to drift off to sleep, just because of the noise in my head. And actually, I was finding My Noise, the tracks on it, the rain, the ocean, and the kind of the brownish noise tracks, really useful to kind of balance out. I've got a headband. I should have worn that for you. I look delightful in it. I've got a cloth headband with speakers in, one of these sleeping headbands with speakers in. And it works by sort of Bluetooth. And I could play that and it kind of balanced it out and would lull me to sleep. So the My Noise app I really, really love. And you can choose tracks that are helpful to you. So the My Noise app I found really helpful. There's also noise generator, the noise generator app, and you can fiddle around with the settings to kind of match the noise in your head, and then listen to that. I haven't used it very much, but it's another way of handling the tinnitus. I must say now that I don't actually need to use these apps because I've kind of got used to it. I'm thinking of it as a friendly, brash kind of friend that's in my head, and I've just kind of got used to it being there. So those are the apps that I found useful. I've also got live transcribe there on one of my home screens as well, so that I can find it a different way. And I've also got been using these anyway. These are my Shocks headphones, which are the bone conductive ones. So I use those. I used to use them when I was running, and they just sort of sit in front of your ears. And I just found them really, really useful for doing my lip reading lessons, which are via Zoom, because I can hear it really well rather than it coming out of the sort of speakers on my computer. I did actually have a bit of a blip one day, a sort of emotional moment when I put these on and was listening to music from my phone and thought, they're not working properly. I can only hear the left side. They're not working. The right side's not working. It was like a duh. And kind of a sad moment as I realised, they're working fine. It's my right ear that's not working. And so this shows you that the problem is nothing to do, with the sort of the outer ear. I can feel vibrations if I put them up really, really loud, but I can't. I've got no hearing whatsoever. Everything's my left side. So those are tools that I found useful, but I actually want to talk about the emotional side of things as well, because people keep telling me that I'm really brave and that, but my personality is that I handle issues and health problems and that by just researching the heck out of them, which I've done. I've read every journal article there is on this and that. So I research. That's what I do. And I look forward. I know there is hope that, these injections, might work. And my hearing loss might spontaneously, I might recover my hearing or some of it. I know that can happen. I know there is hope. But for me, I'm better if I look to the future, if I move forward and just kind of assume that this is my new normal and what can I do to cope with it? What is there to help me? So I just prefer to concentrate on that, and that's how I cope. A lot of people have said to me, I'm in a lot of support groups, and those actually are really good. Facebook support groups are really, really good. So many lovely people that are all going through the same thing and want to help and support you and encourage you. So that's another tip for resources. I know from those that there is grief in hearing loss, because you are suddenly suffering with a disability. You have suddenly lost something. It is life-changing. I mean, I was doing some care work in the UK, every so often, and that at the moment has been taken away from me. I don't have that option. So I feel options have been taken away from me. I have lost something. So there is grief, but at the moment I haven't fallen apart. I have had blips, as I said, that suddenly realising that those were working fine and it was my ear. I've had that blip. I've lashed out at Tim because I'm really oversensitive to noise, and sometimes it's really, really sensitive. And he was just talking to me in a normal tone, and it was just killing me. It was killing my ear, my left ear, and killing my brain. It just was so loud. It was like he was shouting at me. And so I just said, you need to talk quieter. And so he had to kind of, I think, almost whisper to me, because it was just, I was just so sensitive. It was so loud. And so there are times when I kind of lash out, and it's just because my left ear is so, so sensitive. Like, we were watching TV last night, and the TV, Verity put on low because she doesn't like it very noisy. She's quite sensitive to noise. And we had the subtitles on. But at times, all I could hear was the dishwasher in the kitchen. And it was just so weird that I've lost my hearing, but everything is louder and I'm so sensitive to it. It's just really, really weird. And so there are times where I feel sad or annoyed or frustrated or almost in pain. Burst into tears the other day after having the steroid injection in my ear. I mean, it's not the nicest thing, and I was in quite a bit of pain afterwards. I was holding an icy bottle of water to my cheek. It kind of hurts here in the jaw and yeah, the cheek and that. And I was just holding a bottle of water there just to kind of deaden it, to numb it. And Tim was just, we were just talking about my hearing test and the results of my second, well, I don't know how many hearing tests I've had actually, but the most recent hearing test where, it was pretty bad. And I just burst into tears because I felt that I'd failed the test, and I hate failing things. I'm a perfectionist. I like passing things. And I just felt that I'd failed a test. Like, my hearing had got worse and it was my fault, and, I could have done better. And it was just so silly, but it's, and my emotions are all over the place. So, and then I burst into tears the other day when I was doing a walk. I'm doing Japanese walking on my treadmill, because my treadmill, I've got bars either side. So I've got those to grip onto if I have balance issues. And walking is supposed to be really good for vestibular rehab, for balancing, for getting better at balancing. I was doing Japanese walking. I had these on, listening to music. And Avril Lavigne, Keep Holding On, came on. And it just, I don't know, the lyrics of the song just got to me about, just be strong and hold on. And they're not about hearing loss at all or anything, but it just, I don't know, it just got to me and I just burst into tears. So it's just a roller coaster. But most of the time, I feel absolutely fine. It's frustrating. I've got really loud white noise now, and it really affects my concentration. I'm getting really tired. Like, I can't work at my normal levels because afternoon and evenings I'm really tired. I think because my brain is having to process so much. It's having to keep me upright, stop me falling, keep me balanced. And I'm only hearing with my left ears, and it's coping with all this noise as well. And everything's really tiring. So I do get tired easily. But I'm doing okay. Most of the time I'm really, really upbeat. But yeah, it is an emotional roller coaster. And I think if you're going through this, you really have got to practice self-care. I have started doing, not as regularly as I should be, but I have started doing mindfulness and sort of meditation, just to try and relax, because stress also makes everything worse. It makes the tinnitus louder. I think my vertigo and balance get worse when I'm stressed as well. So it's, just trying to practice self-care and to just give yourself some space and some grace as well. So, so that's where I am, I think 33 days into this journey. I'm assuming that my hearing loss is permanent. I don't know whether the rest of it is permanent or whether that will get better. A lot of people seem to have the tinnitus and the balance issues permanently, but you get better at managing it all. So I'm assuming it's all permanent. while obviously still somewhere in me hoping that it might all, blow over. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for following my journey.